Welcome to Loli Let's Plays. I'm your host, Girl. We changed our skin to Rainy Night, or Rain Night, or whatever it's called. I really like this skin. I think it's the favorite of mine that I have downloaded. It is the one downloaded I have that I think is my favorite. Possibly. I don't really know. It's hard to choose favorites because it's hard to have opinions at all. I used to be pretty opinionated about stuff, but then I examined all of my thoughts and noticed that they changed a bunch, and I kept realizing a lot of my opinions weren't really based on much of anything. So now I still have opinions, but I'm not always super, like, give a shit about them. A lot of the time I just sort of wander around taking in stimulus as sort of just an observer rather than someone who's like trying to judge things. Which is good. Being a judge all the time makes you a cop, so don't do that. Don't have that job and don't do that. So, if you saw last video, you saw me die really early. And that was embarrassing, so I've decided to just jump back in and give it another go. I also didn't think I was pushing my voice hard enough, so it's not even like my voice training was getting that well activated at the time either. So now I'm really just pushing myself as hard as I feel comfortable pushing myself at the moment. Or it's at least, I'm pushing myself as hard as I readily know how to do. Every time I start, it's like I have to relearn the muscle memory of everything. Or rediscover it. Reinvent it, really. Come up with all new words and feelings for things that I've already done before because my brain hasn't memorized the last time I did come up with words and feelings for them. The problem is the feelings are subjective in a moment-to-moment kind of way. It's like, I'm not really keeping full track of what's going on in my throat and everything. But I'm trying to, okay? I'm giving it a shot. And right now, it's coming out like this. Sort of too nasally, sort of, I don't know. It doesn't really sound natural to me. But at least it's pushing my voice. At least it is voice training. It is valid voice training, so that's good. I have closed back headphones on right now. I don't know if that's making it better or worse or easier or harder, or not affecting it at all. It's hard to say. Like, it affects definitely how my voice sounds when I speak, because I don't have it replaying. I don't have my headphone plugged into the interface, so I'm not having it echo back at me or anything. And I'm not used to that sort of thing, except when it's instantaneous echo. The 2-second echo I really am not used to and find quite unpleasant. But some people can get used to that. But no, I can't really hear how I sound except through my ears. And so I've sort of trained myself off of that. Which is possibly not the most accurate, but who cares? Trying to find a voice isn't very accurate either. Everything about this is sort of fumbling and bumbling through my heart and through my body. So, yeah. Here we are in the world of Hollow Knight, yet again. Just chilling out, trying to find words to speak, to force myself to speak so that I can continue my voice training. Hoping that it's interesting, but I feel like having good voice training and having a good video are mutually exclusive to some extent. Not really, but it's like so hard to focus on two things that I have to focus on 4 things. I have to focus on the moment-to-moment pressing buttons of actually traversing this game and fighting and playing. Then another part of my brain has to be focused on what I'm saying, talking about, And then another part of me has to be focused on the way in which I'm saying it, my voice training, and my, my vocal posture and everything. And then a fourth part of me has to be wondering what I'm doing in the game, what my plan is, where I'm going. And it's really easy to get 2 out of 4 of those and just let the other 2 at random fall short. It's like sometimes my voice training's going well, but I'm saying nonsense. Sometimes I'm having a really interesting monologue, but my voice has slipped, and I'm just sort of pacing back and forth in the video game. Sometimes I'm really into it, but then I'm just fumbling and bumbling random directions, not where I'm trying to go. Right now, though, I'm trying to do all of those things good at the same time, but it's okay if I can't. Because I believe that maybe by video 100 of this Hollow Knight Let's Play, maybe I will be good at all of those things simultaneously. Is 100 enough? I don't know. If they're all 8 minutes long, then that's probably definitely not enough, actually. I was about to open the stag, but actually I have somewhere to go first. I'm going to get revenge on that motherfucker who killed me, and then I'm going to open the stag, in that order. So... yeah, it was a husk guard that did me in, dude. A fucking husk guard with his club that does 2 masks of damage. Ugh. I just didn't do a good job of avoiding it, really. Like that. That was a bad job of avoiding it. Like that. That was a bad job of avoiding it. I keep going in for the 2 hits, but I'm doing it, like, poorly. It's much easier to get that if he does the jump attack. So, I've gotten revenge on the sick bastard who ended my life and my run. I feel good. I feel avenged. I'm not going to go unlock that stag yet. Here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna unlock that stag after I get the magic blast, Vengeful Spirit. After I get Vengeful Spirit, then I'll unlock that stag. It makes sense. That's the perfect time to do it, probably. For me, personally. So that's what I'm going to do. Right now, we have the Failed Knight to fight. Sorry, I mean the False Knight, of course. How could I ever get that name wrong? Not confusing in the slightest. There definitely isn't another version of this guy called a Failed Champion. False Knight and Failed Champion. Very easy to get confused. I'm just trying to wring a bunch of content from the towel of that observation. But it's only because I don't think I can focus on being interesting all the time yet. Or rather, I'm trying to focus on that, and this is what I've come up with, so... I'm sorry, and you're welcome. But at least my gameplay is okay. Not the best, not like a clean fight or whatever, but like, decent. I don't mind this. But it feels like my voice training has really faltered again, so I'm going to put an extra effort into unfaltering it now. I don't know how I'm going to do that, but I'm doing my best currently. You are hearing my best. Congratulations. It is currently like 4 in the morning. I am fairly sleepy. However, I will persist. I must do my voice training for at least, I don't know, a couple hours would be ideal. I can't beat this game in a couple of hours, though. I can beat it in like 4 hours. That's usually my time. And 4 hours of this would be quite good indeed. And I'll just have to keep focusing on things to talk about while I do that. Or else I won't have any words to say, and then no voice training will get done. But I also have to focus on the voice training, or else no voice training will get done. It'll just be me talking. It'll just be me talking in one of my relatively default voices, and I don't want that. I want it to be genuine voice training voice all the time throughout the video, ideally, so that I can get the maximum amount of value out of my time here. So here's the snail shaman. He's giving me Vengeful Spirit, and he's gonna lock me behind that door like a jerk. Just sort of a give and take, I guess. He gave something to me, and now he's going to take something from me. The power imbalance is real. Anyway, so we're just gonna go up here with our Technicolor Dreamcoat. Just gonna use my new Vengeful Spirit spell to clear out the enemy over there, which is also the same enemy blocking the path to green path. So now that we've gotten this Vengeful Spirit spell, once we get out of this forced tutorial, we'll be able to go to green path, but we won't first because we're going to go and work that stag like I said earlier. Remember? I did say that. And it's true. I'm only bringing it up to serve as a reminder to me personally, to throw those instructions back up, having a second repetition, or a first repetition, I guess, a second utterance, and then I will hopefully remember when the time is right. One other thing that helps is when I take a very long time explaining that, it makes the memory stronger because it took a very long time of me saying that, so I was focused on that information for a longer period of time. But I don't want to be too focused on saying things like that because I have other priorities, such as the voice training thing. Anyway, now we've gotten out of prison. We have one charm, so we're going to equip it. It's the Soul Catcher, used by shamans to draw more soul from the world around them. Increases the amount of soul gained when striking an enemy with the nail. How lovely. I love this charm. It makes the game easier when I put it on. But then, normally when I don't have the Infinite Notches mod on, I have to make the tough decision to de-equip it. Which inevitably happens as soon as I get Long Nail or Mark of... What the fuck is the Mark of? The other one that's like Long Nail that you get from the Mantis guys. Isn't that fun? I forgot the name of the charm. So cool. How annoying. It's one of those things where the tension in my brain is such that it feels like it's really exciting that I forgot it. It feels annoying and frustrating and exciting because then it'll come back to me in a rush of information and I'll be just so happy to hear the word again. But then in actuality, the truth is, whenever I find the actual word in these sort of situations, I just go like, oh yeah, duh, and it doesn't feel very good. In fact, it's sort of a bummer. It's sort of like, oh, I forgot this obvious thing. I just have a bad attitude about it, though. This is sort of like, I need to recontextualize the emotion I feel, or I need to, like, change something about how I think about it. Because there's no reason to just inflict that sort of mental damage on myself just because of my attitude. That's inefficient gameplay of life. That was inefficient gameplay of gameplay. So, here we are. Here we are at Spy's shop. We're going to purchase some of those items I mentioned, such as Wandering Swarm. And I guess since we're here, the Stalwart Shell as well, which I think gives me more invincibility frames. I'm not really sure, but I think that's what it does. Which should be nice. It should be nice to recover more after taking hits, so maybe I won't die so quickly. Okay, now that we've done those things, we can just go ahead and go to Green Path now. Checking to see my Wandering Swarm. It is working. Naturally. There's nothing for it to do other than work, so nice. Nice, nice, nice. Nice, 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 nice. This is a nice game that I enjoy playing. And I like it when my run is going nicely. And in this case, it seems to be going nicely. One problem of the previous run was I wasn't paying enough attention to the actual gameplay. I was sort of taking it lightly or focused too much on what I was talking about. In fact, my last video was sort of a failure of multiple forms. I failed to motivate myself to take it more seriously, and so I died fast, I didn't do my voice well, what I was talking about, though, was very interesting, so I at least got 1 out of the 4 correct. Well, was it very interesting? Yeah, a little bit. I don't know. It's only an 8-minute video, so if you're watching this one, you already could have finished the other one. So that's interesting. You probably did do that, so... I find it very unlikely that you're here watching episode 11 without watching episode 10 first. How did you find me? Who told you about me? What are you doing here? Is that you, Sparks? Probably. So, here we are at Green Path. We're going to skip the Hunter's Journal again. We're just gonna go directly up here with our little friend. Great placement, as always. You really don't have to get that close to the ledge. Just a little boost will do outside of the edge of the fucking hitbox or whatever. It's totally fine. Just make sure your placement is good when you slice down so that the bump up will give you enough clearance to land on that ledge. Where the enemy's placed is not of your concern. Where you're placed is where you should be concerned. Because that you have way more control over in the first place, and it turns out the enemy placement is very forgiving. And the Hollow Knight placement less so. So that's just my opinion anyway. I think I'm gonna have some water now. My tongue and the inside of my mouth is a little beat up from probably candy that I had the other day. But that's fine, I'll just live with it. So this time we're absolutely not going to save Zote. We're not going to save him from the Vinge Viking. And if he somehow saves himself, then we're not going to save him from the Deep Nest. I want the goddamn achievement, okay? It's one of the 2 achievements I don't have. The other achievement I don't have is the one for following the mushroom around. It's a hidden achievement, and I don't have it. It's just something I've never done. I've never done it genuinely, and of course I've never done it by looking at the wiki, because that would count as doing it, and then it would be on my list of achievements. But I haven't done it, so it isn't. Okay, Zote's up there getting owned by the Vinge Viking, and we're just gonna leave him there. We're just gonna leave him there to get eaten. So let's ignore him. Goodbye, Zote. Let's fight both of these guys at the same time. Yeah, let's kill him. Let's just kill him back and forth. 1 damage at a time. Fun. It's fun. I'm gonna try to sync up their deaths a little bit. Maybe if I use some magic. Oh, that would have been so cool had it worked.